I am Mike Harris, a former U.S. Marine. I was in Iraq, then Afghanistan, where sand, wind, and blood blended into a haunting scent that never leaves my memory. Out there, every day was a gamble with death. Roadside bombs, sniper fire, ambushes in the dead of night. Brothers fell, leaving behind strangled screams buried in dust, while we clenched our teeth and kept moving forward. But there are things more terrifying than bullets and artillery. The ghosts of war. Sometimes, in the most literal sense, in those lands, too much blood had been spilled, too many souls left unrested, and at times we felt as though the darkness itself was watching us. Fallujah, Iraq, 2004. This city was once a living hell. Streets lay in ruins, strewn with rubble, the acrid stench of napalm still hanging in the air, charred tank carcasses scattered about like steel coffins. Bullet-scarred walls stood as reminders of firefights that had raged only days before. We, the few still breathing, marched through the night, heavy with gunpowder and sweat. Each step felt as though we were dragging the whole war on our backs. Too many brothers had fallen, so many that I no longer remembered how many names had been erased from the roster. That night, we were ordered to shelter inside an abandoned bunker once used by Iraqi forces. To me, it felt like nothing less than a mass grave. Rusted metal stairs led down into the damp underground, each step creaking like a dying breath. The air reeked of dried blood, corroded iron, and death itself. Johnson grumbled, masking his nerves, "God damn, who the hell wants to sleep in a living graveyard?" We dropped our packs on the freezing concrete floor. I exhaled unconsciously, relieved to finally escape the nightmare outside where bullets and fire tore the night apart. But as my heartbeat slowed, I began noticing the details around me. Ramirez froze, staring at the dark stains smeared across the walls, looking too much like long-dried blood. The air was thick with mold and rust, every breath filled with ash and decay. We slumped against the concrete, sweat and gunpowder still clinging to our faces. Ramirez's hands trembled as he checked his ammo belt again. Johnson muttered curses under his breath while quietly bandaging the cut on my shoulder. We passed around a canteen, panting, trying to convince ourselves we were safe, or at least alive after the ambush. No one said it aloud, but we all knew we needed a place to last the night. And this bunker, damp, dark, suffocating, was the best we could find. So we agreed to rest here, hoping a few hours of sleep might strip away the exhaustion, never realizing that choice would open the door to one of the most horrifying nights of my life as a soldier. We took turns standing watch. Johnson took the first shift, then Ramirez. Then came mine. Midnight. A sound stirred in the darkness, snapping me to alert. At first, it was a hoarse groan of a man, then the sharp wailing of a child, and finally, a woman's scream tearing through the air. Everyone jolted awake, eyes wide with dread. The thought struck us instantly. Enemy ambush. Ramirez seized his M4, Johnson cocked his machine gun, and I gripped my sidearm tight. We rose together, backs pressed close, ready for combat. The bunker grew suffocating, every echo making us think an entire battle was resurrecting around us. We advanced into the tunnel. The beam of my flashlight quivered across cracked walls. And then she appeared, an Iraqi woman, her clothes in tatters, soaked in blood, hair falling across half her face, her eyes blank, milky white, locking on mine. Her voice rasped, layered with echoes of many voices at once. "Save my child. He's still inside. Please save him." My chest tightened at the sight, but before I could react, Ramirez shouted and opened fire. 3 deafening shots cracked through the narrow space, yet the woman dissolved into white smoke, leaving behind only the sound of a child crying. I felt a freezing hand clutch my wrist. I spun. No one was there, but right at my ear the whisper persisted. "Please, save my child. Save my child." The darkness writhed ahead of us. Charred, headless bodies crawled out of the walls, arms clawing to drag us into hell. Their shrieks blended with our gunfire, turning the bunker into a symphony of death and madness. We fled deeper into the tunnel, desperate for an escape. That's when Ramirez's flashlight froze on a figure in the corner, a woman's corpse, gaunt, shriveled, long dead, yet locked in the posture of cradling a baby in her arms. Her body told of death days before, but impossibly the baby was still alive, its eyes wide open, glistening, staring right into us. It whimpered weakly as if just awakened. We stood frozen, speechless. How could a child survive here, without food, without water, beside a mother long gone? Could it be that her spirit lingered, staying to protect her child? In that moment, there were no more ghosts, no more illusions, only a brutal truth. War had taken the mother, but left behind her fragile, orphaned child in this death-stained darkness. Through all the years of war, I had seen too much death, grown numb to loss. But this was the first time I felt with certainty. Even amid the savagery of war, one thing cannot be destroyed: a mother's love, stronger than bombs, stronger than darkness. Perhaps it was that love which kept this child alive. We lifted the baby and left the bunker. Behind us, the cries still echoed, but this time not the wails of the dead. It was the cry of a living soul clinging to life. Even now, writing these words, I still hear that cry, a sound that reminds me not only of death, but of the only thing left unbroken in the hell of war: life and hope. War never truly ends with body counts. It leaves behind orphans, trapped souls, and memories no soldier wishes to carry. I have come to understand the most precious thing mankind can hold on to is not victory, but peace, so that no child will ever cry again in a dark bunker, and no family will ever be torn apart.